Now, Reform UK are launching their campaign for May's local elections this evening in Sunderland. Our senior political correspondent, Paul McNamara, is there. Paul.
Yeah, well, tonight might be the official launch, but Reform have actually been holding events like this across the nation for the whole of March. This is the 11th rally like it. Again, it's a packed house. They've got 3 more over the coming days. They say they're going to continue doing them right up until the election. However, rallying as an insurgent party is easy. Governing with actual power is hard, as Reform are finding out. Across local authorities, they are majority lead of since last year's local elections. They've had to raise council tax on average by 4%. And yet, during last year's election, in leaflets distributed in many of those locations, the phrase, quote, "cut your taxes," was emblazoned. So I spoke to Nigel Farage earlier on and started by asking him, Mr. Farage, have you already broken a promise to voters?
Let's be clear, I campaigned up and down the country in the run up to May the 1st last year. Never once did I say we could cut council tax because the levels of debts meant that would be impossible. What you're talking about is a leaflet with national policies on one side and local policies on the other. And the national policies were stop the boats, lower taxes, etc. We never promised. And actually, do you know what? 10 months in to being majority control of 10 councils, I am proud of the fact that we've made hundreds of millions of pounds of savings and that our council tax rises are lower than everybody else's. I
worried that you might misremember this, so I actually dug out some of those leaflets from last year. So here's one of yours, your big smiling face there. Cut your taxes.
Yes, with stop the boats and scrap net zero. They are national party policies. They are not specific to local
here's
council.
Another one. This one from Lancashire. It's you're not smiling there. Serious face.
Good Lord.
Reform UK stands for real change, putting local people first. We fight for lower council tax.
Yeah. And we've given it. We've given it. We've given lower council taxes than everybody else.
You've raised it.
Sunderland is just over the road where we've increased council tax by less than the rate of inflation. Look, you can split hairs on this if you want to.
I'm not splitting hairs on it. This one's from Kent.
Yep.
Right at the top there. You can change the way Kent County Council spends your money.
Yes.
Cut your taxes, big smiley face.
Along with freeze. Look, there are confusions in all local elections between national and local issues, and I get that. But
can you see how some people might look at this?
No, any journalists that are looking back at things and trying to find an argument.
Really? You can't think that there is some sympathy for people who thought this local leaflet with Kent right at the top and cut your taxes.
If I was living over the road here in Sunderland, I'd be very pleased at a 1.99% rise in council tax.
All councils can do is, the only tax they can lower is council tax.
And we've lowered
it,
and we haven't increased it, in that case, even to the level of inflation. You know what? We've saved hundreds of millions of pounds. We've proved to be able to run the councils. There have been some bumps in the road, of course, but we've managed to show we can control the budgets.
Your argument here is now that you are raising council taxes by less than the Conservatives and Labour, but you're still raising them, aren't you?
We've got to. We're inheriting huge debts in these councils. And by the way, there's no magic wand in local government. I've never ever, over-promised and under-delivered. We know the pressures of adult social care, SEND provision for kids. None of this is easy. I get that, but I certainly stand by. I never last year or this year have over-promised.
In Worcestershire, you are raising the council tax by 9%.
We are not in control in Worcestershire. We are minority leaders in Worcestershire in an impossible position. Worcestershire is on the edge of being declared bankrupt. It's a very difficult situation. And by the way, that's not our cause.
You've said with Worcestershire, I have to say we took minority control of a virtually bankrupt council. I wish we hadn't bothered.
Well,
you want to be the Prime Minister.
You know what? They're very brave. They're very brave to do it.
But I don't know if you've spotted the UK finances. They're not going great. You want to be Prime Minister.
There's a complete difference here. If you win an election, you win an election.
Can you be bothered then?
We didn't quite win this election. We could have let those that had dragged us into this mess in Worcestershire continue with it or take it on.
Part of the problem with council finances is the same problem that everyone's having. It's the cost of living, which has been contributed to by the US-Iran war. Can I just check what your position is on that war? Because it seems to have changed.
Never altered. We should not have denied the Americans' usage of Diego Garcia and RAF Fairford. I was clear about that at the beginning.
Okay.
We should support efforts to clear the Straits of Hormuz with what equipment we've got.
Right at the start you said the gloves need to come off and the UK should do all we can to support the operation. I made that perfectly clear. So
Yes,
no?
Yes, we should have supported the operation.
Would you want the UK directly bombing Iran?
What Royal Navy have we got? It took us 3 weeks and 1 day to get a single naval vessel to the RAF base.
But would you want to? If you were Prime Minister,
no, I wouldn't.
Would you want?
Not directly involved. I would have supported the Americans from the very start. And I tell you why. Because without America, we are literally defenceless.
So you would just agree to whatever the US want?
We're now in the worst of all worlds, right? We said no, you can't use the bases, and despite the fact we said that, the Iranians still fired rockets at British sovereign territory, and then we U-turned.
Was Donald Trump wrong to go to war with Iran and drive up energy prices for everyone?
Well, hang on a second. Energy prices we've driven up in this country without the Iran war. Was it right for America and Israel to try and stop Iran becoming a nuclear weapons country? I think it was.
And would you have backed them up?
I would not have hindered them, and what we did was to hinder them from day one. That was a big mistake.
But direct bombing by
No,
the UK?
we have no contribution of any significant size to make. That is how weak we are now with our armed forces. So even if we wanted to do it, there's not much to add.
Nigel Farage, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.